It's mid-May 2020, and Americans are heading into a somber Memorial Day party weekend. The 20s are roaring again.
Been in quarantine, and I need to get out and party. Woo!
Yeah, woo, as in Wuhan. But shouldn't these youngsters be wearing masks?
I mean, if he's not wearing a mask, I'm not going to wear a mask. If he's not worried, I'm not worried.
The president.
Yes, sir.
All right, the president.
I had one on before. I wore one in this back area. It looked very nice, but I didn't want to give the press the pleasure of seeing it.
Why would you not be wearing it?
His generosity is contagious. Who needs a mask anyway when you have a miracle cure?
Hydroxychloroquine.
Warning, not effective.
I happen to be taking it.
Hydroxychloroquine?
I'm taking it, hydroxychloroquine. I think it's good. I've heard a lot of good stories.
Who needs studies when you have stories?
Here's my evidence. I get a lot of positive calls about it.
Good enough for me.
I'm still here, and I tested very positively in another sense. So this morning, yeah, I tested positively toward negative, right? So, no, I tested perfectly this morning, meaning I tested negative.
But here comes Negative Nancy.
He's our president, and I would rather he not be taking something that has not been approved, especially in his, shall we say, weight group, what is morbidly obese.
Oh, snap. What say you, President Lump?
Pelosi is a sick woman. She's got a lot of problems, a lot of mental problems.
Speaking of mental problems, it's time for this week's Eric Trump's pandemic prediction.
Guess what? After November 3rd, coronavirus will magically all of a sudden go away and disappear.
Why does that sound familiar?
It's going to disappear. One day, it's like a miracle. It will disappear.
He got it from watching you, Dad. The president continues to lead the way. The fair way. Whoopsie. Sorry, your VP-ness.
Joe Biden did a campaign ad saying, how dare he play golf when so many people have this virus. The president said, I'm trying to send a message that we can do this safely.
Leading the way is important, and certainly the president trying to do that. Sometimes it's on the golf course.
Most times it's on the golf course. What's this? Breaking news.
Joe Biden makes his first public appearance wearing a mask.
Vice President Biden wearing a mask.
As we mentioned, he's wearing a mask.
He was wearing a face mask.
It's mask hysteria.
He didn't need to wear it.
Biden, like anybody else wearing a mask, looked ridiculous.
It is a bit peculiar that in his basement, right next to his wife, he's not wearing a mask.
I thought it was very unusual that he had one on.
And what does the masked bandit have to say for himself?
President Trump retweeted a photo of you wearing it. He's trying to belittle you for wearing a mask.
He's a fool. An absolute fool.
Mr. B pities the fool.
We know that the masks really aren't doing any good. We're compelling people to say, I'm a sheep and I'll do whatever the government tells me to do.
There's a man we can trust, one who surely won't be forced to step down from his job in disgrace. As we close the week, a new movement takes to the streets. And President Trump says, count me in.
MAGA loves black people.
He always says the white thing. It's June 2020, and America declares victory.
Congratulations, America. The comeback begins.
You heard it from the Q-tip. Even Sin City is lighting back up. Vegas, baby. And it was all thanks to Donnie Bill de Wahlberg's unprecedented COVID contributions. Like making sure everyone stayed safe inside their homes.
Get in your house now! Let's go!
Protecting the White House with corona-proof barricades. And showing us it's safe to once again worship him.
In that moment, holding the Bible up is a very important symbol. And like Churchill, we saw him inspecting the bombing damage. It's a powerful message of leadership.
Yes, and all Winston Churchill's fried chicken had to do is shoo away some rabble-rousers. Some yahoos argue the protesters were peaceful. Tear gas was used, and it was a photo op.
The protesters weren't peaceful, no tear gas was used, and it wasn't a photo op.
Well, that settles that. But one respected journalist still demands answers.
Why did you go to St. John's the other day? What was the message that you wanted to send to people?
Religious leaders loved it. Religious leaders thought it was great. They loved it.
True. Just ask any religious leader.
The Bible is not a prop.
It makes a mockery of Christianity.
It was an act that mocked God.
You just don't do that, Mr. President. It isn't cool.
And nobody knows cool like Kid Turtleneck. This just in. A Fox News poll shows Biden is up 14 points. But don't be bamboozled.
I know all of you are freaking about the polls. Well, the experts say that Biden's way ahead. It's his election to lose. The so-called experts are just horribly wrong.
Yes, take it from her. She's horrible and wrong. It's June 2020, and America is moving at the speed of... Come on. You got this. Yes, nailed it. The good news is the corona's on the ropes. Even macho men are wearing masks, like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Floyd Mayweather, and beloved star of the gridiron, O.J. Simpson. Don't forget your gloves. And with COVID consuming the nation, it's the perfect time to have a rally.
Your rally is set for June 19th.
Think about it as a celebration. My rally's a celebration.
But his Fox and friends are flummoxed.
How would these rallies work? You know, right now there are social distancing guidelines all across the country.
Oh, I think they'll be full rallies.
2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we contaminate? And what about the second wave experts are yammering on about?
I spoke to our health experts at some length last evening. They are saying there is no second spike.
There's not going to be a major second wave in America.
Where's the second wave the left has been warning us about?
Why, it's right there, you silly goose stepper. Breaking. Joe Biden makes a big statement in his house. Nope, nope, down, down. There he is.
This president's going to try to steal this election. This is a guy who said that all mail-in ballots are fraudulent.
By golly, he's lost his marbles.
He's your friendly neighborhood conspiracy theorist.
Leave it to Democrats to go out there and level these conspiracy theories.
That's where we're at with Joe Biden at this point in terms of this conspiracy theory.
We'll conspiracy about that.
He believes that you will steal the election.
Look, Joe's not all there. Everybody knows it. Certainly if I don't win, I don't win. I mean, you know, go on and do other things.
Yes, other things.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol. Yeah! You'll never take back our country with weakness.
Freedom! Dumb is right. It's the end of June 2020, and a triumphant Trump traipses back from Tulsa. He didn't just wow the crowd, he killed.
Here in the United States, death toll is now approaching 125,000.
The death toll, the worst of any country.
Right now, the next couple of weeks are going to be critical in our ability to address those surgings.
Okay, Mr. Surging General. Forget critical numbers. What about what really matters? TV rating numbers.
This just came out, and people have to see this. Trump rally gives Fox News the largest Saturday night audience in its history.
Lies from New York. It's Saturday night. But why is America so cuckoo for COVID?
The reason we have more cases than other countries is because our testing is so much.
Any other possible cause?
When you do testing, you're going to find more cases.
We get that, but surely there's a more nuanced...
As you do more tests, it shows more and more cases. If we didn't test, we wouldn't have cases. When you do more testing, you find more cases. When you have all those tests, you have more cases. You do more tests, that means you're going to have more cases. When you do test your cases. When you do testing, you're going to find more cases.
Quick! This calls for a distraction. Lay a fat one on us, Fiberace.
It's the biggest risk we have. The mail-in ballot. Mail-in ballots are a disaster.
There's tremendous evidence of fraud whenever you have mail-in ballots.
Mail-in ballots? Who would ever do such a terrible thing?
His campaign releasing this video of him signing his ballot, which the state of Florida calls vote by mail.
Talk about mail privilege. I wonder what New York's easy lover governor thinks.
I think this is a setup. I think they're going to lose the election. I think they're going to claim fraud, and I just hope they don't do that.
Hope in one hand, an employee's bottom in the other. It's July 2020, and America's punch bowl has been spiked.
We really had a big spike here in Miami-Dade.
Southern California, which has also seen a big spike.
Texas experiencing a major spike.
There's a spike in cases, one of the biggest spikes.
That's an amazing spike.
No, this is an amazing spike. Look at him go. Good boy, Spike. What were we talking about? Oh, yes, things are bad. It's even tearing through Tulsa town.
We do have the highest number of cases. And, you know, we've had some significant events in the past few weeks that more than likely contributed to that.
What baloney brain would hold a huge event during a pandemic? He's super spreading the news, the good news.
We're doing a great job. We've made a lot of progress.
I think we're going to be in very good shape.
And if anyone knows good shape, it's President Porkchop.